What's up, YouTube? Silver Dragons here, and in this video, I'm interviewing John Lee, chairman of Silver Elephant Mining, which is backed by billionaire Eric Sprott. So you're not going to want to miss this one. John talks about Silver Elephant and everything they're doing down in Bolivia, but he also talks about silver mining in general. And we talk about what tremendous potential silver has moving forward. So let's get to the interview. So John, tell us a little bit about who you are and what your target market is.
Yes. Well, it's good for the elephant to be meeting dragon finally. Silver Elephant, we are a TSX listed silver exploration company. We target stock investors who want to own as much silver in the ground as possible.
Great. And how do you compete in the marketplace?
Yeah, Dragon, we focus on silver exploration. We're not focusing on copper, lithium, or cobalt. We are expert geologists in finding silver prospects. We drill them, add resources to those projects in order to increase shareholder value.
How is your mining project different from others?
Our silver project, the name is Pulicayo. Interestingly, it's the second largest silver mine in the world based on historical production. Over the life of mine, over 670 million ounces of silver was produced before the mine was stopped in 1952 by the government. It is truly elephant in size. We drilled over 90,000 meters and verified over 57 million ounces of silver in the ground independently. And with only just 30% of the silver vein that's drilled, as you can imagine, that's a lot of potential to add resources and potentially double or more. And also that in the news just a month ago, that's why we were pretty excited to be on the show. We announced last month we acquired a new project called Triunfo. And the project features 95-meter wide intercept of gold and silver at about 1 gram gold equivalent. And Silver Dragon, 95 meters is about a 30-40 floor building from the ground down, from the surface down. So you can see the magnitude of this project. The strike length of the project lasts 1 kilometer in strike, at least, and it's open at depth to 100 meters and maybe even more. This is no question a large bulk tonnage project, which will only grow bigger as we drill and potentially reach world-class size in terms of millions of ounces in the ground. And our overall objective is to achieve 100 to 200 million ounces of silver resource in the ground in the next 12 to 18 months. And we're confident of achieving that objective as we're already well underway.
Wow, that's very impressive. And I'll be honest with you, John, I'm pretty new to the whole silver mining scene. And, even the title of this video, 1,500 grams per ton of silver over 5 meters. Can you explain what that means a little bit to people?
Well, Silver Dragon, I've been in the mining industry for almost 15 years now. And before that, I was in the dot-com business in the early to late 90s. And so I stumbled on the mining business by accident and had to learn everything from the ground up. Essentially, the metal that you look at, silver, is mined from the ground. And it is intertwined and mixed with dirt, rocks, other minerals, other metals, etc., etc. So once the ore has come out of the ground, it needs to be crushed, grinded, floated, refined, burned, and for the silver to come out as a door of 80% purity. From there, it goes into the refinery to eventually the end product is 99% silver. And these bars then can be further cast down into coins and bars and numismatics and what have you. So the results we released in just a week ago in mid-August is the drill results. So the only way to ascertain silver content in the ground is to drill. And so the results came out as 1,500 grams over 5 meters. And what that means is 1,500 grams per ton of silver content in the ground. And given there's 30 grams in an ounce, so you're looking at 50 ounces of silver per ton in the ground. And that at a $30 silver, a ton of rock is worth, in this circumstance, over $1,500 in the value of the rock. And it only takes maybe $10 or $20 to get that ore out of the ground, another 20, 30 meters to extract that silver. So therefore, you can see there potentially could be quite profitable margin. In addition, in terms of the width of the intercept, it's 1,500 grams per ton over 5 meters, but that's within 100 meters of mineralized materials, grading over 150 grams of silver per ton. So this 150 grams is about 5 ounce and over $30 an ounce. That's again $150 worth of rock in the ground, over 100 meters long into the earth. These grades and these intercepts, Silver Dragon, are truly extraordinary in terms of the grade and the width, and the margin could be very, very high. And the deposit, the Pulicayo, is known to have mineralization extend well over a kilometer at depth. So, a basic calculation will tell you that our 57 million ounces up down to just the 300-meter level is only the starting point, and we could be looking at something quite a lot bigger. Hopefully, answers your question.
Yeah, no, that's quite interesting. Seems like there's a lot of potential for sure. So if we can kind of break off into what silver's doing today, John, what's your take on the recent silver correction, and what do you think the outlook is for silver this year in 2020 and moving forward?
Yeah, Silver Dragon, you know that silver market is a relatively small market. The annual production of silver is only around $25 billion in today's money. So I like to sort of just draw some parallels into gold, and then from there we can talk about silver, because gold is a much bigger market. And then for the gold market, gold just broke out of all-time high of $1,900. We're witnessing a historic event. Gold has never surpassed 1900, 1950 ever until recently. So we're really in a different gravy, a different market, witnessing history in the making. And the breakout is very significant. And as to where the top for gold is, if you look at the bottom for gold, around $1,000 for the last decade and a half. So if you add $1,000 to the top of $2,000, you reach that $3,000 gold price. Now, in 2000, the reason I talk about this is in 2011, when gold was $1,800 where we are today, silver was already $50. At that time, the gold-silver ratio, maybe you know and study a bit, was about 30. So if we apply the 30 gold to silver ratio to, say, a $3,000 gold price in my forecast of next 12 to 18 months, then you could be looking at potentially $100 silver in the foreseeable future. Regarding the correction, when silver broke out of a 7-year consolidation of $20 an ounce in July, and I authored an article, you can look it up on YouTube by searching Silver Elephant Mining. It's natural that such embedded breakout, silver went up 50% from 20 to 30 in short few weeks, that the market goes back to retest what is called the support of the $20 to $22 range. And so silver corrected from 30 to down to 23.90, a $6 swing. It's very volatile. However, it seemed like it did successfully test the $20 to $22 support, and now it's back down to the $26 to $28 range. Looking forward to silver in the short term, in the sort of towards from here towards year end, I would again look at the price of gold. If gold breaks out of $2,000, which I anticipated well by around September time, we're likely not going to see gold price to go under $2,000 ever again, and in which case silver could be embarking on a very substantial rise, because it needs to catch up to $50 just to match the 2011 high when gold was $1,900, and then as gold pass out to 2,000. Silver will have to continue to catch up in order to make up and eventually reach that gold to silver ratio of 30.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting that, if gold breaks $2,000 and then it never goes below it again, I mean, that would just be insane to see. And then also, we look at silver. It's possible silver will never go below $20 an ounce. So I feel lucky to have been buying it before it was at these heights. So if we bring it back to Silver Elephant, I know you're doing the mining in Bolivia. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Is it safe to be mining there?
Yeah, Silver Dragon, I'm a world traveler. We are scouting for projects all over the world, as I previously mentioned about our focus on silver exploration. But we're hunting for silver elephants around the world, and we've been in Bolivia since 2005, our team. That's before Evo Morales, the socialist president, came into power in 2007. During those years, intervening years, we have been working on the project without any political interference. And the reason for that is we have fostered a very strong relationship with the local community. We're the largest employer of the town, and we pay above wage salaries. Evo has since fled Bolivia in November, and a pro-free market government is now in charge. We believe that Bolivia is a very overlooked and underrated destination for foreign investment, presents a very welcoming investment climate with excellent geological potential.
Why buy Silver Elephant? Why now?
Yeah, well, Silver Dragon, we just briefly touched on the outlook of silver. We think it's very bullish from both the short term and the long term perspective. If gold would surpass $2,000 in the weeks to come, I think silver not only kissed $20 goodbye forever, it could be kissing $50 goodbye forever. And so it's very, very exciting. And Silver Elephant provides that leverage for a bit of risk appetite investors looking for additional sort of leverage to the rising silver prices. So we touch on the technical trends of silver. If we look at the fundamentals for silver, it couldn't really be any more bullish. I mean, the Fed just announced keeping the interest rate at 0% for the next 3 years to come. And we have, in addition to zero interest rate, of QE infinity, which is practice of the modern monetary theory, another word for money printing. The Fed's balance sheet is doubled from $3 trillion to now $7 trillion in the last 3 months, in just the last 3 months. And with additional stimulus of the Trump talking about additional stimulus checks, cutting of capital gains tax, cutting of income tax, you could be looking at additional $1 trillion of deficit every quarter. Unemployment right now is at 10 to 30%, depending on how you measure. And then we have the trade war with China, tensions in North Korea, protests in Hong Kong, border dispute between India and China. A bomb just went off in Lebanon, and nobody knows really how that came about. Fundamentals couldn't be more bullish, and with only less than 2% of the investment capital in the world capital in gold and silver, we really think that the bull market is only at its infancy. The timing couldn't be more succinct.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I'm very bullish on silver right now. I think there's lots of potential for sure. So, John, I really appreciate you coming on, explaining sort of the mining side to me and what you all are doing with Silver Elephant. And also, I appreciate you talking about your outlook on silver. I agree silver could be going much higher in the near future. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, Silver Dragon, you and I are, as I mentioned, very rare exception. Only less than 2% of the population invests in gold and silver. However, they are paying attention. There's still a lot of doubters as to whether this gold breakout is real. I believe that if gold were to emphatically take out $2,000 and stay above $2,000 for a reasonable amount of time, for weeks, a couple of weeks, you're going to see the doubters become believers, and the trend would accelerate and enter into potentially parabolic phase. As you know, gold and silver really hasn't kept track of what's happening with inflation and the money supply growth. Going back to answer your question, for those who are new to investing in silver mining companies, it's important to examine the shareholders and the management. So Silver Elephant is backed by Eric Sprott, which is a mining legend and billionaire. And we're managed by mining veterans from the largest mining companies in the world, such as Hecla and Barrick. We have a very healthy trading liquidity of $1 million a day for a company that's just under $100 million market cap. Insiders and institutions own 35% of the company. We have a lot of skin in the game. For the shareholders and the management, the interests are aligned. The drills are turning, and that's the way to prove up additional resources in the ground to eventually go into production. And my advice is not to wait for too long. Eric Sprott, as you know, recently had just announced a $1.5 billion intention to buy silver physical. So the genie is looking to squeeze the bottle, and it's time to start a silver position if you haven't. And Silver Elephant is ideally suited for silver mining investors.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, John, for sharing all of that with us. For everyone out there listening, don't forget to subscribe to Silver Dragons for more awesome videos. And I'd love to have you on again, John. We can talk about some more drilling results and how everything is going. Thank you so much.